Hi guys, my name is Trevor Banks. I will be your course instructor and welcome to Introduction to Film. We're going to go over the syllabus just right from the top and so you know what it is that I'm going to expect of you and what you can expect of me, especially a little bit about my schedule and the schedule for the class. This is a late start class. We're going to have something quite condensed. But in addition to that, I think all of you should know that I am in production for a film right now. And so things are going to be a little hectic and crazy for me until March 9th. I'm just going to be on set every day, all day. I start tomorrow at 7:30, and right now it's Sunday night, so it's going to be a very tight thing for me. Let's go over the syllabus, and let's look first. Here's how to contact me. Here's the section number. It's 2873. That is a number you'll need whenever you contact me. I'll need to know what section you're in so that I know how to navigate your questions and what's going on. Obviously, since you're accessing this, you know that it's on Moodle, not Blackboard. I've had difficulty getting into Moodle, or into Blackboard, and so we're going to stay on Moodle. Alright, so we have a course description. You can read that on your own. Let's go to learning objectives. The first learning objective, that means what it is that you're going to accomplish during the course of this semester and what you'll gain from the class, hopefully. The first one is distinguish between evaluation and analysis of film. The typical image that I have in my mind when I think about evaluative criticism versus analytical criticism is I think about Siskel and Ebert. Roger Siskel and Gene Ebert, Gene Siskel, Roger Ebert, were known for they wrote for opposite newspapers. They also had a TV show, and they would often disagree. So someone would be thumbs up, someone would be thumbs down, but if they gave it 2 thumbs up, this is a really big thing. So other film criticism outlets decided that they'd start copying this, and so they would have 2 thumbs up. You have 1 star, 2 stars, all the way through 4 or 5 stars, maybe even 6 stars. And we live in a culture right now that is all about how we evaluate. We've got Rotten Tomatoes. We've got IMDb even has ratings of films, things like this. This is not the mentality that we want to be having. This is the mentality likely that it exists in a common consumer approach to film viewing. This is not what we want to be eschewing. So I'm going to ask you to put your evaluative tendencies. We don't want to say whether it's good or bad. We want to say, what is it? Because if we can ask those questions and ask them deeper, then we will be able to analyze the films in a more thorough way. But the first step, I would say, is suspension of evaluation. This is something that might be confusing. We'll get into more detail and have more examples of this as the semester continues. So that's the first objective, is to be able to distinguish between evaluation and analysis. And this course, of course, will lean towards analysis over evaluation. 2, to be able to distinguish between film content and form. We want to be able to look at the tools that filmmakers have at their disposal, things like cinematography, mise-en-scène, editing, storytelling, other devices. What does a director do? What does a producer do? What do actors bring to the table, etc., etc.? These are things that we want to be able to analyze, and as we analyze those things, we'll be able to see how those elements point toward the content of the film and possibly even create it. That's a really important thing. So what do I mean by form? Form means ideologies. Form means ideas and themes. And we're going to talk a little bit about that last word in just a second. On to the third learning objective that we'll be able to go over during this course is that we I want you to be able to confidently analyze how a film's form affects content. So the second learning objective is how to isolate those two things, and the third one is to be able to confidently analyze how a film's form influences or affects the content. Fourth learning objective is that I want you to identify and analyze ideologies and themes/theme statements of the films that we view, and that you'll view the rest of your life in the future, of course. Okay, so this is central to how we're going to structure the film. What are ideologies? I want you to be able to answer that question. What's an ideology? What, not just an idea, but what sets of ideas, what systems of ideas, what a priori assumptions exist for these inside of the films. So you might go and see a film that thinks that, if you look at something like Disney's Little Mermaid, you think that there are ideas about what a woman is, what a woman does, what a man is, what a man does, ideas about what marriage is, and what ideas about what true love is, ideas about family and being true to your identity and what is good and what is bad. There are all kinds of things going on that are part of the ideological system, part of the ideology of the film. And we want to learn how to analyze those things. We want to learn how to see what the film sees, what the film is presenting, and how we can be more in control of both our reading of the film and possibly even creation of other films. So this is an important thing. I want to talk a little bit about themes and theme statements. Okay, so a theme, we could say, oh, well, this film deals with the theme of identity, or deals with the idea of justice, or truth, or sexism. These are all themes that it deals with. I don't want you to deal with themes when we do our assignments. You will get later, there will be several assignments where you will need to write out theme statements. What I need you to do is to learn how to have a thesis statement about the theme. You need to be able to make a statement about it. So a film is going to take maybe a theme like justice or truth or identity or sexism or something like that, and it will have a perspective on that theme. So for instance, it could be just as simple as sexism is bad. Hopefully when you're doing assignments, as you do more and more of them, you'll be more specific and more nuanced in your description, in your reading of the film. That's an important thing. As you go forward in the class, it's important for us to realize that a film has a perspective on those themes. So we might say a theme statement might be truth, and it might also deal with honesty. A film might deal with truth and honesty, but it might, for instance, have something to say that we wouldn't expect. For instance, truth doesn't always come from honesty. It's very possible that a film might have that perspective and might say, truth doesn't always come from honesty, something like that. That's a very different thing than truth always comes from honesty, or there is no such thing as truth, or there is no such thing as honesty. Or, for instance, it could be really inflammatory and say, a film might have all of the female characters might lie, and all of the male characters might tell the truth. And so you might very well extrapolate, men are honest, women are not. Now, if we saw that, we, of course, would be deeply offended that a film has these ideas in it. Why are all the women characters, why do they all lie? And why do all the men characters tell the truth? And that might not sit well with us, right? That might offend us on some level. If there's someone, snickering at that, then let's look at the other way. All the men characters lie, and all the female characters are telling the truth. It's offensive either way. So films might not even be aware of their ideologies. This is another thing we're going to be looking at. Okay. So we'll go down a little further. Let's look at the assignments on page 2. Your reading and your viewing are going to be due on 11:59 every Sunday night. Okay? I don't want you to do it then. I just need to make sure it's done before then. Do it on Wednesday. Do it on Tuesday. Do it on Thursday. Do it on Monday if you need to. Do it when you can. Just get it done on a weekly basis. Like I said, however, I'm in production for a film, and there's going to be some difficulties. The first 2 weeks, it's not going to be due the first 2 weeks, but you will have 2 modules that you have to do in those 2 weeks. So it's not one module 2 weeks, it's 2 modules in 2 weeks, so do not get behind, okay? It's really important that you keep up to date on this stuff, okay? Next, so that's the viewing and the reading. Next, we have quizzes. Okay, each Sunday you'll also have quizzes due. You can take them as many times as you want. You can have an open book. That's great. That's wonderful. Don't use anyone else. Don't use someone else that's taking this class. Don't do that. It's just not worth it. Because I want you to be able to comprehend this stuff. But you can take it as many times as you want, and it will benefit you and everyone else. Okay? Next, discussion boards. I want us to learn how to engage in discussion with other people about these things that we're going through and learning about. I want there to be a place where we can learn not only from me and from the reading, but from each other. So even though it's an online course, a simulated discussion forum is really a helpful place for us to be able to find our own voice when talking about these things, but also to be able to learn and listen to other people's voices. So I want you to make one comment that kind of starts a discussion, and then I want you to comment on 2 other people's discussion boards every week. Okay, so I want you to actually be participating throughout the week. The film discussion gets a lot more interesting as you participate earlier in the conversation. So if you save it for Sunday night, no one can respond to you, and then you don't grow as much. So we want to not be leaving it till Sunday night. Then we have theme statement assignments. So we just went over what a theme is and the difference between a theme and a theme statement. These assignments, as we watch the films, I'm going to make sure that you write a theme statement about every film. It'd be great if you gave me multiple theme statements. There are films that I watch dozens of times throughout the course of my life, that I've watched a lot of times. It would be great if it's a great film if there are multiple theme statements. So there's multiple themes maybe, there's multiple perspectives that a film could have on each theme as well. And I want you to practice being able to do it. I could give you hard assignments that are not just writing a thesis statement about the theme that this film is doing, but this is an easy assignment in my mind. What I really want you to learn how to do, though, is learn how to think through the ideologies. So I've made this easy so that you will do it. So please do these. There will be essays. We will go over those later. There's essays. Then there's also one exam. Okay? Let's go to the bottom. You have library resources, college support, disability, etc., etc. Let's go to the bottom. The syllabus is missing several films. It's missing the last half. I'm going to update this later. As of right now, we have the first several weeks of what we're going to be watching and what will we do, etc., etc. I just want you to know that we will have an updated syllabus very soon. Okay, thank you for your attention during this 14 minutes. I'm excited to get to know you, and thanks for watching.